So they doubled down on their bets. And oh boy, did the bets pay out for years and years. But the bets don't always run smoothly, folks, and so sometimes people need a little bit of encouragement. It takes a lot of forms. Sometimes it's a barrel that rolls into the lake and then floats up many years later. But most commonly, you just dig a hole out in the middle of nowhere and shove somebody in. And that's exactly what some people claim happened underneath the Boulder Dam Hotel. But we'll get back to that in a moment, because for now, I'm going to ask you for a favor. Could somebody survive something like that? I gotta tell you, it was an incredibly haunted location. Ooh, surprise, surprise, middle of a desert. What did you think was gonna happen?
Klondike Bear. I think George has run away. Just thought you should know.
Come on.
Tonight, Rosie and I are in the awesome little town of Boulder City, Nevada. This might be a new one here. I don't remember a Big T's Cantina the last time I was here. Definitely a cool looking little restaurant and place I'm gonna have to come check out. Looks like a lot of fun in there. I just love this little town. We definitely need to come and do more videos here. But what makes tonight so cool is that we're invited here. We were invited here by Joshua P. Warren, the owner of Haunted Boulder City Ghost and UFO Tour. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go on a ghost and UFO tour. And you know how we are about aliens. We gotta find them. This was a tour I wanted to do last year, but you know, with everything and building a YouTube channel and work and life, I didn't get a chance to do it. This time I'm gonna do it. I'm excited to check it out. And even though we're gonna go on this tour, we're not gonna show you everything. We're gonna show you bits and pieces of this tour because we want you to come check it out for yourself. And from what I understand, they sell out almost every tour. So if you're in town and you're willing to take that 30-minute drive from the Strip to get here, which isn't very far, then I suggest that maybe you come check this out and I'll give you a better review of it when we're done, but I know I'm gonna love it. Let's try not to get hit by a car in this little town, though. That would really suck. Our invite tells us that we are to meet at this cool little bar called Beer Zombies, and then that's where our tour will start from. You must be Mr. Nick Weird. That's me. Nice to meet you, my friend. Excited to go on this trip.
Absolutely. I'm excited to have you.
That's gonna be fun. And this is Beer Zombies, the meetup point for tonight. What an awesome little bar. So Nick here is telling me that this is a private tour tonight.
That's absolutely right.
And
just the three.
So how much creepy stuff can we expect to learn about tonight?
Well, you see, Mr. Mark, the thing is, when we have only a few people, that's the time when the spirits most like to make themselves known. We don't want a bunch of people crowding around, just like you don't want a bunch of people in your front room, right?
Exactly. That's awesome. Let's go find some ghosts.
We could go about this whole town and talk about how every building along the way used to be something or other. But tonight we're only going to focus on 76th Service Station and this Ace Hardware, which if you go back in time, would have been our local grocery store. But I don't bring them up because of the locations that they are, but because of a couple of gentlemen that used to spend a lot of their time in these two locations. See, you had Mr. Telford and Mr. Likens. Mr. Telford is the manager of the grocery store, so naturally he's here all the time. Mr. Likens is a local co-pilot, and he's working on his plane all the time, so he's going to the 76th Service Station to talk mechanics. Now, it happens that both of them like going on flights in this single-prop plane, and they decided to do exactly that October the 30th, 1947. Now, it's a beautiful day. When they take off, everything's going fine. That is until they end up by the Railroad Pass Hotel. That's where things will take a turn for the worse. You see, the plane's wing detaches mid-flight, and it comes spiraling out of the sky, smacks into the ground. Great big fire. Nobody has any idea what's just happened, who's involved. Could somebody survive something like that? Yeah, probably not. But they know it's going to be days until the newspaper can tell them anything. Here we can see that article today. 2 men perish. Percy Telford, Richard Likens, 35 and 40, outside of that Railroad Pass Hotel. To this day, they still make appearances at Beer Zombies, or that's the claim of some. You see, from time to time, strange things happen there in the evening. I was even there with Vinny, one of the bartenders and partial owners, when a canvas painting flew off the back wall into the bar back with it. So, the fact of the matter is, though, I'm a little bit of a skeptic. There's a lot of people who went to the 76 service station. They're not all with us today. And just like any bar, people are bringing things with them. Their friends, their family, spirits, and who knows what else. And like any good bar, they leave things behind, too. So, any number of things could be trying to manifest over their ears on this line. I'd like to draw your attention across the way for just a moment to one of our locals. That's right, Zoltar. In the 1988 movie Big with Tom Hanks. And of course, that's where he got famous. But what you may not know is every one of those Zoltar cabinets, doesn't matter where they came from, they all came out of Boulder City. That's right.
Keep in mind, as we're following Mr. Weird here, that he is walking you through a historic part of Nevada. So make sure you pay attention to all the statues, all the old architecture, the shops, the trees, the lights. It's a beautiful little town.
Some statues that I think are a little bit more interesting than others. In particular, the workers from the dam site. But if you look up at his hard hat, it doesn't quite resemble the types that we use today, and that's for a good reason. You see, this is one of the first work sites to ever require the use of hard hats, but they're not going to provide them to you. So you have to make your own. They get pretty ingenious. If you take a couple of baseball caps, lay them end to end, dip them in some tar, they harden up pretty good, at least enough to stop most of the rocks from going through your head. Most of them, that is. The reality is you could go out to Area 51 right now if you wanted to. Follow the rules very, very closely and listen when they tell you to leave, because it gets a lot worse after that. That's us right there.
Looks like a nail to me.
Yeah.
See, I have corny jokes too. Yeah, he hit the nail on the head, he says.
So many guests over the years, people like Howard Hughes, Betty Davis, Shirley Temple, the Vanderbilt family, Pope Pius XII. I like talking about spirits. So, we're dealing with ghosts tonight. Could be something follows you home. If that happens, maybe you're scratching across the walls, or maybe something cold will grab a hold of your foot. If that happens, send me an email, let me know what's going on. And I'll give you some tips on how to get rid of the spirit, too. Not that. So what we do is we take a moment to recenter our minds. A couple of deep breaths is not a bad way to go about this. And when you'll be ready, rub your hands together briskly for about 60 seconds. We're just trying to build up a little bit of heat, that's all. The idea is that we're going to make ourselves more sensitive to the electrostatic fields around us. So if you feel the tingling in your palm, like you got a static shock, if you put your hand next to an old tube television, take a photo. There may be something there you're not seeing with your own eyes. And take two, take three. You never know what you catch in one frame, but not another.
Where am I going to find an old tube television? That's my next question.
Actually, it's not very hard. Go to a pawn shop.
Yeah, pawn shop.
Now, actually, that pawn shop probably has one. There you go. Now you know what to buy. Now, that being said, someone recently asked me a question, stopped me dead in my tracks. What's better for taking photos of spirits, digital or film? Gee, I don't know. I can't get them to sit still for multiple frames.
So how many active tour guides are you running right now on your tour?
Currently, it's myself and Mr. Alan Goya.
Okay. Mr. Alan Goya, doesn't he go by, you're Nick Weird.
That's right.
He goes by, I forgot. I looked at it.
I think that he oftentimes dresses as Zoltar.
Zoltar, that's right. He's Zoltar. So you can take this tour right now for $19.95 an adult, $12.95 children 12 and under, and I 100% recommend it. If you want to learn about the history of Nevada, Hoover Dam, Boulder City, some of the creepy and weird deaths and things like that that have happened in our state, this is the man right here. That was a lot of fun. I had a blast on this tour with you.
It's my pleasure, truly.
We appreciate you having us out.
Well, thank you for coming.
Come and see Nick. I 100% recommend it. I know I stumble with my words a little bit when I'm talking about ghosts and ghoulies and things that have happened in the state of Nevada, because I don't know all the history of it. But this man right here, if not for anything else, this tour, this 1995, a person is worth it just to watch Nick do the tour. It's worth it to watch you do it. That's how good you are at your job, and I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
And you have a wonderful night, my friend.
You as well.
This was one of the best tours that Rosie and I have taken in a very, very long time. The history you learn alone and Nick's showmanship are well worth the price of admission. And even though I have horrible knees, I was able to do this 1 hour walk without an issue whatsoever. So I 100% recommend Haunted Boulder City Ghost and UFO Tour. It was a really, really good time.